I'm really excited about this week. We're checking out Dance With Me by Beabadoobee. This is a super cool song. This is the type of song that you dance on your wedding night with your spouse. I absolutely love this song. This is super cool. This was dropped in by request. I'm going to break down all the parts, the chords, and the lead lines, and I'll show you some of the harmonic structures and some of the finger rolls that you can kind of emulate the harps towards the end of the song. So let's zoom in and break it down. Alright guys, so this is a really awesome tune. There's all kinds of different lead lines going on and all this overdub. So I want to just talk about the basic chord structure first, and then we'll break down some of the lead ideas, and then I'll show you how to get some of those harmonics and some of those rolling chord techniques, so that way you can kind of fill out the sound and kind of emulate the harp. There's like harps and strings and all this cool stuff. But anyway, let's just talk about the main chord progression. So we're in the key of E. We need to have a capo on the 4th fret here. So make sure you put your capo on the 4th to play along with the original recording. When I say we're in the key of E, we're actually in the key of E, but I'm going to call the chord shapes as they appear. So the first chord that we're going to be dealing with here is a C major chord, and then a C major 7 chord. And all that is just taking our first finger off. So regular old C chord, and then take our first finger off. And then we're going to have an F chord. So we're just going to have like an E major looking chord shape with the first bar, first fret. The main kind of chord progression for the verse chords goes like this. So notice I'm doing one bar per chord. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to F. F is going to be for 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, back to C. C major 7, C, C major 7, then to F again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be the chord progression that's going to take care of your verses. So just remember, you have C for a bar, C major 7 for a bar, and then back to C, and then you're going to have F for 4 bars, and then back to C, C major 7, C, and then F for 4 bars again. And then when you get to the chorus part, this is cool. It just all kinds of builds up this tension to get to the chorus, which is super cool. We're going to have a D minor chord. And the way that I play D minor is I actually use my 1st, 2nd, and 4th finger. Most people play it this way. I've just come accustomed to playing it this way. So we're going to have a D minor chord to a G7. And then we're going to have an F to an F minor. Yeah, I love that minor 4 chord, right? We're going to have 2 bars on each of those each of those chords. So for the D minor, you're going to have 2 bars. The G7, you're going to have 2 bars, and then you're going to have a bar F and a bar F minor. But when you get to the F and the F minor, it's kind of a sustain. It's like, but I think I really like you. So that chorus part. And then you're back into the verse. So let me kind of play all those parts all together so that you can kind of hear it, and I'll call out the parts. So here's the verses. C, C major 7, C, C major 7, F, 2 more bars of F, 1 more bar, C, C major 7, C, C major 7, then F, 2 more bars, F, then we go to our chorus, D minor, G7, F, F minor, and then back into the verse chords. Now that'll take care of the entire chord progression for you, so that'll take you through the entire song, and then when there's the fade out part towards the end of the song, it's just C to C major 7 again. So the chord structure is not all that hard, so just kind of remember the verses, you're thinking C, C major 7, and F, and then for the chorus you're thinking D minor, G7, F, and then F minor. Now let's talk about some of these little cool lead lines. Now there's a very distinct lead line that happens in the verse parts right before you get to the F, and it sounds like this, where you go So when you're going dance with me, and then you go. Now it's obviously all played on the piano, but you can replicate it on the guitar, which is really cool. So what I'm doing here is I'm on the 3rd fret of the B string, and I'm going up to the 5th fret with my pinky. The reason I'm using my pinky is because then I have to jump back here, and then I'm putting my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then back to the 3rd fret of the B, and then to the 5th fret of the B. So that line. The cool thing about this is you can also play this in open position, so if you're trying to do this as a solo arrangement, you could play it here where you go. Because we have a G sharp here, and then we also have a G sharp here that's capoed. So really the notes are F sharp, G sharp, and then we would have a C sharp here. So what we could do here is you could play it here in this position, right in your C chord. So if you're playing, but I play it here. So just remember that's 3, 5, 2, 3, and then 5. So the way that we would talk about the phrasing. Now this is the coolest part in the line where it goes to the chorus part. That is such a cool line, in my opinion. So what I'm up here is I'm going to be, I'm going to call it relative to the double dots because this will be easier. So I'm on the 11th fret, or the fret before the double dots on the high E string. So that first phrase, I'm using my 3rd, 4th, and because I need to stretch back here to get this note. If you're wondering what this shape is based off, it's really based out of the 1st position of the E major pentatonic. But really what I'm doing here is I'm going 11, 12 on the high E, and then back to 11 on the high E. Then I'm jumping up over my 4th to grab the 12 of the B, and then I'm jumping down to the 9th on the B. So, and then I'm jumping up to get the 11th fret on the G to my F sharp. So. And that's again over the chorus part. And that's so beautiful, I love that. So all together you have this. That's over the verse. And then over the chorus. Again, so listen to the actual recording so you make sure that you're getting the phrasing right. But anyway, that'll take care of all the parts, the lead lines and the chorus part. But now I want to talk about, obviously towards the end of the song, there's all this extra activity going on, all these different string rolls and harps and all this other stuff, and there's these harmonics at the end. We'll talk about those harmonics in a second here, but if you listen towards the end, these finger rolls, and what I'm doing there is I'm not doing anything overly specific. I'm just trying to emulate the harp. So I'm kind of just doing this picking pattern where I'm pinching my 5th and high E string, or my I should say 5 and 1, and then I'm rolling through the chord. So pinch and then 3, 2, 1. So I have 5 and 1 and then 3, 2, 1. Play it up here if you want. Different voicing. You want to kind of be subtle with it because it's real nice and quiet. Super, super cool though. Then you have that's all underneath there. So that's kind of what you're hearing on. And then there's some of these like rake harmonics, which are really cool, where you can hear this in here, where you have like it's probably a lot easier to do it on a harp, but you're trying to emulate it on the guitar. So what I'm doing here for these, you know, rake artificial harmonics, I'm basically just have a C major chord here, C major 7, and I'm going exactly 12 frets above. So from that I'm going, let's see, it'd be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so I'm on the 16th fret. Or if you're at past your double dots, in between your first 2 dots. And I'm scraping up. As you know how you get an individual harmonic like this? I'm raking through. It's called a rake harmonic. And I'm just basically just tracing the shape out exactly 12 frets above. So I'm thinking like, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so that you can get a little better of a view. Okay, so down here I still have my C major 7 chord, and I'm exactly doing 12 frets above, and I'm raking up through the string. That's how you get kind of those rake harmonic ideas. And again, this is just really trying to emulate the harps, but you can hear this in the recording that this is happening. And what I'm also hearing on there is towards the very end, this is my favorite part about the entire song. You'll have, and I'm not really too worried about the particular order of the notes. Just remember you're tracing up that C major 7, exactly 12 frets above. That's how you get those little cool little bell sounds. So what I'm doing for this is I'm going from the root to the major 7 and then back up the chord. So and again, I don't really think there's any particular way that you have to go through it. It's just cool because then you get all these cool, you know, bell tones. So again, with that whole chord progression, I'm thinking of those rolls. And then you have those scrapes. And then you have the individual harmonics where you have. The tone on it sounds really cool. It almost reminds me of like a kalimba. But anyway, it's basically what I'm hearing on the recording. Alright guys, that was a tune. I hope you liked it. Let me know what other songs you'd like to see next. And if this is the first time you come across my channel and one of my videos, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification. I post new videos every single week, and my whole goal is to help you help yourself to learn all of your favorite songs. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.